Great day, everybody. Your presence is welcome here. All right, so a quick one for you here. You just got a lot of stuff when you're farming through. You're getting a bunch of yellows and stuff, bunch of rares. You don't know what to do with them. So an easy way to go about this is you go, you don't have to go to the disenchant guy, but it just helps you clear it out easier, I guess. But basically, just hold Alt on any equipment, and then if you see next to all the mods, they will have T1. I'm sure you guys all know that. Now, looking at items, again, this is more of a mentality type thing to have in the back of your head to get through these quicker, instead of just looking at them being like, oh, this has cold, this has lighting, is that good? It has some crit bonus. Are people going to want 27 to dex? That seems good. Well, just hit Alt and look. I mean, you're basically looking for T1s, but it doesn't have to have all T1s if it has good stats that are just good if you have a little bit of. But basically, yeah, if you see a T7, a bunch of T3s, I would say that's not really worth it. If it maybe had the T7, but, it had, T1s and then a couple T2s, maybe you could look into it more. But looking at this, I would just, hold control and click, put it over there, go on to the next one. Same thing with this. Okay, I'm seeing no T1s, I'm seeing a T9, T8. Yeah, I'm not really liking that, so let's get that out of there. I'm not going to waste my time with it. All right, a bunch of high T's again, not even going to look at it. This, a bunch of 3s and 5s, nope, not good enough. Okay, T12, T5, no good. All right, I got T4, T8, no good. We're going to get rid of that. A T12 right off the top, usually I'll just go unless, it has a bunch of, if it had like 5 T1s, maybe I would try and chaos that out or something, or annul it, or however you would go about that. But we'll get rid of it. And now come here. Okay, I see a T1 and a T3. All right, now I can look a little more into it. All right, it's all energy shield. Okay, I want high energy shield. I can still regal this, so okay, maybe I'll keep that, except get that out of the way. That's the thing too, if you have a couple that you're not sure of that you might want to roll more, this one's crap, but whatever, we'll just leave it there. Okay, so once it clears it out, so you have less to look at that you might want to roll. Okay, so I want to regal this. Boom, you regal it, you see, okay, what did it land? Okay, it landed rarity of items. It's only a T3 and it rolled 8 out of 10. I don't think that's a good enough roll, really. It didn't roll any resistances or any kind of like damage mods, so I'm probably going to disenchant that. But that's kind of the thought process behind it, to get some stuff out of your inventory quick, so that you're just not wasting a whole lot of time going through everything, because you do want to pick up yellows even if they aren't for your build, because you never know what might actually have really good stats that might sell on the market for a bunch. Which again, I'm going to make more videos coming up here soon, more about the trading. I just got recently to the end game in this league, and I want to get a few more items, and kind of prepare a little bit more in-depth thing that kind of explains how to get this stuff sold. So look out for that coming up. This is just kind of like a quick overview of how you can clear out your inventory really quick, kind of playing off of the last video where it was telling you like how to clean up your stash. This is how to keep your stash from ever getting that filled in the first place. So kind of use this step. This should have probably came before that, but if you haven't seen that video, now that you watch this one, go watch that video, get your inventory sorted out, and look for the video for more further trading things to get some quick currencies in, start getting your your exalteds and get your divines and other things up, so that you can then get the gear so you can push higher into tiers in the end game. Also, I want to give a shout out to Checkmate. He's someone that commented on the last video. He did state that if you watch the other video, it kind of explains how to use Exile Exchange to check things to see if they're worth anything, or if you should even hang on to them, or if you should roll into them. But he stated that if you hit Shift Alt on an item, so I can Shift Alt and then left click, it will pull up like an in-game mechanic where it kind of checks the prices. So yeah, if you couldn't get Exile Exchange, this is a really good alternative. So let me just go to my shop, because I had a couple items in here. I don't have much yet, but all right, Shift Alt, we're going to click on that, and it does have all over on the left side where you can tick things off and you can research. You can take off, I would probably take off like requirements and stuff, take off anything like that. Obviously you still want it to be a staff and all that. I would kind of take off certain filters because it just doesn't show as much. And that was the only issue I had with this compared to Exile Exchange. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, again, go to the last video. I'll show you how to set that up. Just it's a little more involved, and then like the way this is set up, like it's harder. I don't know, just harder for me to see when you're really trying to look for, when you're trying to buy an item that's better than yours. I would say this is a really good way to go about it. So you can like kind of look through and compare these items a lot easier. Where if I just go on this item, if I'm just trying to check it real quick to see if it's worth anything, if I have Exile Exchange in there and I hit the Control Alt, Control Alt D so I can see the prices. I just think this is a little easier, just because it's gonna, I don't know, it just, you can preset it to anything that's within like 10% range, and it kind of shows them all kind of lined up, and it's like easier to tick a box off and like, okay, I can see without the 6 life gain, without the radius, okay, now there's like this many. It's just easier to see, and when you hover over them you can see all the stats and attributes of the item. So I don't know, it's just a little more condensed, and it just seems to work better when I'm ticking things off. It just shows a lot more results, so I can kind of gauge a little bit better of like, is this really worth selling? Is this worth, maybe if I only had 4 rolls, should I roll into it again? Because yeah, look, a bunch of people are using things like this, and look what they got on it. They got that extra stat, so let me roll into it. So it does have a merit to getting the third party. If you don't like third party, you don't want to take, you know, the time to do that or deal with it, I understand. So yeah, that again, Checkmate, thank you, my mate, for giving the insight on that, where you can just hit Shift Alt on an item and it'll pull up in game. And you know, this is fine too. It's just, it's a different tool, depends on what you like to use. You know, that's all it really is. Because like, yeah, I can get a bunch of results in here, similar concept. Just I guess it would depend on what you want, but I would say this is another good way, probably, if you're looking for specifically to buy something. This is really good, because if you're using the Exile Exchange, you're more looking just for your own pricing points on what to keep, what to sell it as, stuff like that. When you're trying to buy something, you're putting this in here and go, oh, I love this staff, and then boom, travel to hideout right in game. You can go right there, pick it up. You don't have to then go into this or go to the website anymore and go to the person and do blah 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 blah, a bunch of extra steps. So yeah, this is great. Thank you again, Checkmate. And that's pretty much all I got for this one. Look out for upcoming videos where I'm going to get a little more into depth about trading, but I'm also going to try and put out some more videos about just like quick tips of things that I'm picking up along the way. Try and make them more understandable without too much like jargon and stuff where you're like, what the heck is this guy even talking about? So I'm going to try and do more of that. I started a new job last week, so I was kind of busy with that, trying to, you know, I haven't really streamed or anything, but I'm going to get back to the streaming, and just because I want to. I've been missing it, you know. I'm not trying to force myself to do these, but yeah, I'm having a lot of fun doing them. Just, yeah, you know, life happens. But anyways, that's about this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.